So I'm going to preface this by stating that I already had a review done for Operation Fortune. I just needed to wait on my thumbnail artist to get me the thumbnail. So in the interim between me finishing my original review and my thumbnail artist getting me the thumbnail, I was exposed to stuff that made me need to redo it. I saw a bunch of ads online talking about how Operation Fortune is fantastic. I saw Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score was 91%. And I saw a couple of reviews on YouTube talking about how the movie was good. And, am I in the Twilight Zone? Because, I don't get it. I don't get it, people. I don't understand why people are praising this movie, because it's not good. It's extremely boring. And for an hour and 57-minute action movie, that's not good. It's really, really bad. And I guess I can kind of see why it's getting positive reviews, because in the theater I was in, I heard people laughing at some of the jokes, but then, contradictorily, the guy sitting next to me fell asleep in the first 30 minutes of the movie. So, I don't get it. I don't get it. The people that enjoy this movie, I genuinely want to understand what you found so enjoyable about it. Because for me, the action of the movie was just serviceable. The dialogue was extremely cringeworthy. The same with the jokes. And the overall tone of the movie was just boring. Something about Guy Ritchie movies, which I should mention this first. I love Aubrey Plaza. I love Jason Statham. And I love Guy Ritchie. His movies are fantastic. His two Sherlock Holmes movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. I'm one of the few people that actually loved his King Arthur movie that came out a few years ago. Aubrey Plaza has been stunning and fantastic in everything that I've seen her in. I loved her in Dirty Grandpa, which was like a B-grade comedy. She was phenomenal in Legion. And I grew up watching Jason Statham movies. I grew up seeing Crank and Transporter and Death Race. Nobody remembers Death Race, but I grew up watching it and I loved that movie. These three people are integral to my film watching career, and I loved everything I've seen them in up until this point, but this movie is just boring as hell. It's disjointed in what it wants to be, because on one hand, it wants to be like a James Bond, Charlie's Angels-esque kind of spy action comedy movie, but then on the other hand, it wants to be like The Unbearable Weight of Talent. I think that's the name of that Nicolas Cage movie that came out last year, where he had to act as himself, and it just, the two aren't meshing together, you know what I mean? They're not coming together properly, and that's just not right. It's not right, because it's not focusing on either of them in the proper amount that it should. If you want to tell a story about an actor who has to pretend to be himself to sneak into this, crazy criminal organization to help out the government, do that. Show us the comedy in that. If you want to tell a Charlie's Angels, James Bond-esque kind of spy movie, do that. But doing them both just resulted in a boring movie, because like I said, the comedy was cringe and didn't hit. The only jokes that really landed for me, there was one joke where Jason Statham shot somebody in the foot. That was funny. And there was a couple of jokes that Aubrey Plaza delivered, because she's Aubrey Plaza. The joke itself wasn't great, but her delivering it made it funny. So, I don't get what people are enjoying about this movie. And, even in the plot itself, the plot just, it doesn't make sense. It has so many dumb, basic plot contrivances in the movie. Oh, hey, we have a mission to stop this evil weapon from being sold. It's okay. And then it's what's the bad guy's motivation? Money. But they have the money to, hire people to get the weapon and confront Jason Statham's team and everything. It's just I hate that trope so much. It's so stupid. When it's used just as a means to have something happen, in a video game, in Uncharted, the guys you fight in Uncharted are always rich dudes that are able to hire tons of mercenaries to go after this treasure. And in your head, it's well, if they can hire all these people, do they really need this money in the first place? But then at the same time, it's I don't care. I need enemies to fight for the game to be interesting, so you let it go. But in a movie, you can't have that same thing happen. You need a good level of confrontation that makes sense, because in a movie you don't have that same level of I'm doing this other thing so it doesn't matter that this is happening. In a movie you keep your mind on what's happening. So for me, when I hear that the super rich bad guy's plan is to get money, it's like, you already have a ton of money. You're one of the richest people in the world. What do you need more money for? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, their whole plan is just, it's so mind-boggling. Like, their plan is to make themselves the richest person in the world without spoiling, the idiosyncrasies of what they want to do with this mega weapon that will make them the richest people in the world. And it's just like, did you really need to do this? Like, you're gonna cripple the world's economy to be the richest person in the world, but like, you're already super rich, so what difference does it make? You see how this isn't working out? And even in regards to like Aubrey Plaza's character, like, this was clearly just done because it was Aubrey Plaza, which, like, no one's gonna fault Guy Ritchie for doing this, but like, it just, like, it ticked in my head because I wasn't having a good time. She's the tech whiz of the group. Like, her purpose is to be on the computer and like hack into stuff for them to get information and like help them out and like view security footage and stuff like that. She's the tech guy. But like, the movie comes up with a reason to put her in the field so she can wear like sexy dresses and like walk around and do stuff like that. And it's just like, but like, you're the equivalent of like Ned from Spider-Man. Like, you're the guy in the chair. Why are you not in the chair? And it bothered me more because like later on in the movie, there's a point where they need her to hack into something, so she has to make an excuse to leave so she can get to a laptop so she can hack into the thing. And it's just... I'm getting upset. I don't like it. I'm getting upset. So we're just gonna end it here. Just gonna end it around here. The bottom line is, Operation Fortune is a very boring movie. If you have seen it and you enjoyed it, please explain to me why you liked this movie. This is definitely my least favorite Guy Ritchie movie. It is not good in the slightest bit. I considered leaving the theater during the movie. I don't do that as a rule. If I go see a movie in a theater, I don't leave. Because like, I paid to see it. I wanted to see it in the first place. I don't leave. But I literally thought about 40 minutes into the movie, like, I could leave right now, and it's not going to change my thought process of the movie. And I was mostly right. The only thing that did was two things. My revelation about how, they were like, hey, Aubrey Plaza's hot. Let her, show herself off in the movie, which, like, I get it. Second thing was, there was this really weird joke in the movie that's in the trailer, and they cut it at the last word of the joke. Like, in the trailer, Aubrey Plaza finishes this joke, which, here it is.
I hope you take them to dinner first, before you get inside of them. Sexually.
And it cuts, like, right here.
I hope you take them to dinner first, before you get inside of them.
I don't understand why. I don't know if it was like a glitch in the movie I saw that was playing in my theater, or if that's just how the movie was edited together for the official release, but it's very strange that like they just decided to cut the joke at the last word. I don't get it. It doesn't make it make sense. Make it make sense. So yeah. That was really about it. I did not like Operation Fortune. It was very boring. I don't know if this movie will do well. The majority of the people I saw at the theater went to go see Creed 3, so it's got some heavy competition, so I don't know if it's going to do well enough to warrant a sequel. So, yeah, there's that. And like I said, if you happen to see Operation Fortune and if you enjoyed it, please explain to me what you liked about the movie, because I'm genuinely curious about what you found entertaining about the action, about, the jokes, the dialogue, the set and premises of the movie, everything. Like, I just want to know, because I'm curious. It just didn't connect with me, even though I wanted it to, so I'm genuinely curious about what people enjoyed about it. And last but most certainly not least, I'm the innocent villain. Remember, folks, you're innocent until proven villainous, and I will catch you next time.